Welcome to Culture Alchemy, where we do a deep dive into film, TV, music, and the stories and trends lighting up the group chat. We'll discuss what it means, why it matters, and how it shapes us. I'm Antoinette.
And I'm Andrew. Each week we've got pop culture's hottest takes served fresh. We're turning pop culture into pure gold. This is Culture Alchemy.
All right. Episode 27. And Drew's back. So welcome back, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm back in the house, and I'm excited to talk to you. We're talking about a couple things today. And first, we're talking about the episode you just did, which is I found very interesting. It's very a good time to be talking about that this time of year when holidays are fast approaching, and Stranger Things comes out this week. But we're not talking about Stranger Things. We're talking about talking to strangers.
Oh, I like what you did there. Yes, we are. We are. That's right. It is Talk to a Stranger Week. And yeah, as you said, we did have that last episode drop. And it was really a great conversation talking with Pete Bombacci. He's the CEO of a social enterprise called Genwell. They do amazing work, but basically their whole reason for being is to get people to think about their social health in the same way they think about their physical health or their mental health. So they want people to get out there, make conscious social connections for the greater good. So it was a wonderful conversation. But yeah, I guess you've heard most of it now, so I'd love to get your thoughts. What stood out to you?
Yeah, if our listeners haven't checked it out yet, definitely I recommend listening to it. I found it very interesting. I feel like a lot of people in the city, everyone's busy with their own things, and it only takes a second to like make a gesture in an elevator, or like help someone out, or like maybe even like start like small and maybe plan like some type of food drive, or a local community event inside your building as well. Maybe like a social night if you don't already have that. Because what I found is that a lot of people have events, like social events, if they own their condo, but I find like renters have less of these events socially. So, and especially older people. I have my aunt. She just she moved recently from her house, and her partner had passed away, and she's 95, and she moved into my mom's building, and it's a very social building, so she's a lot happier. And I know that she was definitely struggling being alone in a house, and now that she's like more social, like I've seen a way different side of her, like a more positive side, and she attends all these events, and I think people need to do more of that, especially these days. Yeah.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that she's thriving in her new community. That makes a huge difference. And I don't know. I've always said to myself, like, it's going to sound really morbid, but like if I were to die in the high-rise apartment that I'm sitting in Toronto right now, who would know? I mean, I would honestly probably until the smell became inconvenient for someone next door, maybe then. And it's kind of sad to say, but that's the case for a lot of people living, obviously, as you said, in multi-residential units and beyond, even in houses too, as well. There's a lot of people I would imagine who this day and age maybe don't even know their neighbors that well.
Yeah.
Right. So
I mean, I don't know many people in my building, but I do know my neighbor. I've had many conversations with her, and she said to me recently, she said, she has a daughter, I think around like 12 or 13 years old. And she said, "You're the only one I talk to in the whole building." So I told my daughter, if anything ever happens or you feel unsafe and I'm not here, like definitely, knock on my door and, he'll help you out, because it's good to talk to people in the building and have trusting relationships and develop that community for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, how did you feel when she said that to you?
I was not expecting that. I mean, I'm just always trying to be like a friendly neighbor, but it was definitely a huge compliment, that she trusted me. If anything happens, worst case scenario, that she has someone she can rely on. It starts with one person, just to make that
Yeah.
move, or just start that conversation. And you don't know what anyone's going through, also. So the slightest gesture can go a long way, and has a ripple effect as well. Yeah.
Oh, big time, big time. I'm gonna be pulling from a whole bunch of different anecdotes, so I won't. I'll spare you the thinking out loud and the. But I can think of so many occasions where someone, just by having a conversation with them, it could have been something that really just changed the whole outlook of my day, and vice versa. Like where somebody else indicated to me that, thank you for that conversation, or thank you for saying that thing you
Yeah.
said to me, or like 6 years ago, that thing that you said to me really stayed with me, and you just never know like what a conversation will do for somebody. And I think that's one of the most, actually, it actually may be one of the most heartwarming things someone has ever told me, is something I said, wasn't even thinking about it, that they remembered it for months later. Like I had this elevator conversation as well with a neighbor
Yeah.
who remembered something I said like 6 months ago. And so it's just kind of interesting. You just never know, like your impact and your presence, but it's felt. It's definitely felt. And I want to I want to touch on something that you said, Drew, earlier about, you know, the lack of community, because we're both in Toronto. We should situate ourselves for anyone who's new to the show and doesn't know that. Um, you said, yeah, there's a lack of community. I think when you say that, what do you think is behind that? Like, what gives you that impression that there's a lack of community? Are you thinking about it in terms of, in the context of living as an urban dweller in Toronto?
Yeah, I would just say is like we live in a big city, right? And similar to like a New York. I don't know, it's like in New York, but I just feel like there's like it's everyone is just so like obviously they're into their own lives, and super busy with what's going on. But there's a lot of people struggling in the city, and I feel like we
Mm.
have to come together as a community, and help each other, because we're not getting help in other ways through the city as well. So, I just think it starts with us, starting the smallest thing, maybe like I said, like a food drive, or like maybe some type of social event in the building, or like um, those types of things. I think are needed in the city. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. And those initiatives, those things that we can do, like a food drive, a potluck, these sorts of things in our own communities, that's a huge start, right? And I think that's a great challenge. I mean, this week, Talk to a Stranger Week, the whole challenge is literally that. Each day, challenge yourself to talk to a stranger. So maybe it's not hosting the potluck in your party. Maybe you're not there yet, or the potluck in your building. Maybe it's not that, but maybe it's saying hello to somebody, right?
Yeah,
It's
exactly. Just
maybe
saying hello.
mentioning the idea. Yeah, getting that idea out there, like giving it legs. So like maybe mentioning it to somebody. Wouldn't it be cool if, and then finding, comrades and allies to make it happen. So I think that's a huge part of what this week is about. And I really appreciate you saying that, because I think there are people that are kind of doers
Yeah.
who are the ones who are throwing the parties and doing the hosting and doing all that stuff. And as someone who tends to fall into that camp, I actually do appreciate as well when people host and throw and invite me to things like, oh, great, and I just have to show up. I think, yeah, if you build it, they will come. I think that's a really nice thing to think about, is like taking some agency and thinking about, well, what can I do? I'm one person. Well, saying hello is like one of the huge things that we can do this week to try to just create a little bit more of a sense of humanity. Like, I see you. You're a person that I see, right?
It's just
That's
a
it.
simple thing, or maybe yeah, or maybe like if someone is struggling with their groceries or something, getting up the stairs or
Yeah.
to the elevator, help them out, stuff like that, like those little things. Yeah.
Yeah, they make a huge difference, right? And yeah, I'm really glad that you're able to touch base on that conversation I had with Pete, because it was a really important one. And like you said, the holidays coming up, everyone's busy,
Yeah.
but also it's one of the biggest periods, I think, for people to experience heavy loneliness as well.
Especially
And,
for older people too.
it's,
Especially for older
yeah,
people these days, where most like very often like forgotten, and
yep.
so if
Yeah.
there's someone in the building you just even make conversation with, I think that would, bring a lot of positivity into their lives. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And another thing I'm also thinking about, I'm reminded constantly, is that, around the holidays, and being in Toronto, there's a lot of newcomers here,
Yeah.
and I recognize that not everybody has like something to look forward to. Like, I'm going to go home and see my family. I'm going to go see
Exactly.
my relatives. That may not be the story for everybody, right? And in some cases, you may be many, 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 many miles away from family, and it just puts a real spotlight on that disconnection and that isolation. So, to your point, like, saying hello could actually literally save someone's life, and just let them know that they're being seen. And yeah, this can be a time when just creating those micro moments of connection,
Yeah.
they really add up. They really add up. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, challenge accepted. If anyone is thinking they want to get involved and talk to a stranger week, very simple. Go out, talk to a stranger, or start. If you live in a building where there are other people around you and you don't know who lives next to you, that could be a challenge. So I think we can give that one to our alchemist, right? It's to just talk to one person. And if you're more introverted, maybe it's just a nod,
Yeah.
a smile or a nod, right? It's free. So,
Tell me
give it
hello.
away, be generous with
Your
it.
neighbor. Yeah.
Exactly. You never know. Every relationship starts with a hello. And so I'm always to the point of view too when I talk to people who are wondering how to make friends in the city, or they're single and they're dating. It's like, well, there's, in their phone, there's someone next to you. If you look up, that's another way that you can also meet people too. The old fashioned way. I'm old school that way, but yeah, that does make a huge difference. And we're going to do a hard pivot here, Drew.
Yeah.
It's I know we will definitely get into conversations about a number of things over the course of this time that we do this podcast. But this is a very special time of the year because we are getting close to the end of the year. And with the end of the year comes all of the year end lists, the best of, the uh, constant reminders that there's something to buy now on sale, right? So we're going
Tis
to talk about. No, go ahead.
tis the season. Yeah. This is one of my favorite times of year when it's all these best of lists come out,
Yep.
and people are thinking about award season as well, and what are the best movies of the year.
That's exactly it. And that's exactly it. And I was going to even take it a step further and say, we're all out there shopping for Christmas gifts or whatever holiday you may celebrate if you don't celebrate Christmas. But certainly there's another group of people that are also spending money right now. And that's anybody that's trying to promote a movie, trying to get that awards buzz around it. So yeah, as you said, Drew, there's a lot of buzz right now around some of the frontrunners in the categories that are going to be given out next March at the 98th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Academy Awards, hosted by our man Conan O'Brien. He's doing it for the second year in a row
Oh
now.
wow! Yeah.
And yeah, I'm super excited for that. I think he did a great job last time.
Me too. Me too. Yeah.
He's exactly what they need, and he knows what he's doing. He knows how to put on a show, and he also, I think, works really well with other people in Hollywood. Like, people like and respect him, right? So it helps, I think, when it comes to doing that type of a show. But we're going to put all of our baggage up front because I don't know about you, Drew, but I haven't seen all of the front runners that are vying for Best Picture, and of course all the other statues that we're probably going to talk a bit about today. Where are you at with the Oscar race? Like, what have you
Yeah, I
what
haven't
have you
seen all of
seen?
them, but I've done a bit of research, and some aren't out yet, but they're coming out very shortly too.
Yeah.
And I think there's some movies with more buzz than others, and
Hmm.
I definitely have a feeling about certain films to be nominated for an Oscar. Yeah, and the nominations come out. I believe like January, right?
So the nominations themselves are actually going to come out in December. Well, January is the announcement. You're right, but the short list will be in December.
Okay.
So the short list will be announced in December, but the actual we're going to come out and tell everyone about who actually makes the cut.
Hmm.
You're right. Will be January 22nd. That's when we're going to know for sure. And then the telecast will be March 15th. But because the shortlist is kind of announced, it's kind of locked in by mid December.
Yeah.
As you said, people are talking now. And as you also said, they're also talking about a lot of films that are not even out yet, which is which is wild to me. But
Yeah.
we're going to try our best to get into a conversation about what we think might be some of our front runners for one of the major categories, and then we can, take opportunities to talk about some of the people, the players, and whatnot that might be behind these films. But we're going to talk about the best picture race right now because it's really heating up right now, and a lot of these pictures are actually not even out yet, which again kind of blows my mind. But I think it's probably because last year around this time, the conversation was really, it looked like we could see kind of Honora pulling away at one point. And this year, honestly, the crop of movies that have come out this year, in my opinion, anyways, are so great
Hmm.
that this year could be really very different for me than last year, where last year I kind of knew what was on lock. This
Yeah.
year, a couple of things that I think could upset what I think are, you know, pictures that are destined to get some hardware. So, got about 10 films here. And for Best Picture, I'm not sure how many they're going to have this year. So they could have 10 again this year. Past years, they've had five.
Yeah.
Probably going to be closer to 10, right?
I think they're going to have closer to
So
10 this year. Yeah.
you think they're going to have how many?
I think they're going to have 10 this year. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And if that's the case, then I think some of the ones that we have here are definitely going to be in the conversation. But this is not going to be an exhaustive list. So if anyone is watching or listening and feels that we've missed the mark here, we've missed one or two of your favorites,
Yeah.
please get at us. Let us know. Let us know. Okay. So we got our categories here, our tier list, what we think is a lock, what we think will be a front runner. And then we go down from there. We got our dark horses, probably not. And then what I'm going to call the absolute wild card,
Hmm.
rounding out the bottom of the list. And again, we can talk about why we're picking what we're picking, why we're putting things where we're putting. But essentially, everyone's guessing at this point. But there is a shape starting to take form, I think, around some of the other categories like Best Actor, Best Actress. So as we place these movies in a totally random way on this tier list. Um, we can talk about those categories too if you want to get into that, Drew, whenever inspiration strikes you.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, we can start with the best picture as far as what we think is going to be a lock. What do you, what do you think
Yeah.
is
So
going to be
what
a
do you
lock
think?
for best
Oh,
picture?
you can flip it to me. Damn. Okay. So I think the best picture, one battle after another.
Well,
Why
okay.
am I saying that? So, yeah, I do. I do. It's not the one that I necessarily want, but what I think is pretty much locked. I think right now, so many people are talking about this film. So many people are talking about not only the performances, which we can get into, who we think will also get some love from performances, but this is PTA's year. I think PTA is definitely going to be in the conversation for director without question. And I think a lot of people are really digging this film. I've been listening to, I've been watching, I've been reading some of the usual suspects, Variety, the trade magazines, Hollywood Reporter. I'm hearing a lot of people talking at screenings as well, um, at some of the usual festivals that will kind of give us a sense of the
Mhm.
temperature. People are really digging this film, and I'm just seeing so much press around it. I'm seeing actually in the same way that I kind of feel was reminiscent of Leo when he was doing press for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or any film that he really wanted to kind of like give that lift. I'm seeing him doing all sorts of wild things, and I wouldn't be surprised if like we even see him doing wild, like Hot Wings in like a week's time because he's everywhere. Tiana Taylor is everywhere. So in my mind, there's a few things that have to happen to win an Oscar.
Mhm.
One, PR. Publicists have to be going absolutely mad right now, running around getting interviews for the cast, making sure they're setting up screenings where they can. They used to send out like actual DVDs, like screeners,
Mhm.
to the Academy members. And I think because of the sustainability concerns, they've decided now they've started a website. So this is new for this year. I just found this out
Huh.
that instead of sending the screeners they normally send, they're actually giving people a pass to a screening website. So the Academy has a portal where they can watch all of the nominated films. And in years past, many people, including even hosts, would joke about the fact they haven't seen any of the films.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so this year,
Wild.
which is wild. This year, they're actually being obliged to do it. So it's been all kind of an honor system for a while. This year, in order to vote, they're being asked to check out the films on the portal, indicate whether they've seen the film or not before they cast a vote. So I think that's going to help a lot with keeping this race heated, because if more people see these films, then I think we're going to start to hear more from industry about what they like. But I think One Battle After Another, definitely one that I'm hearing a lot of people say is at the top of their list, and I think it is PTA's year, to be honest. So I'm going to put it up there in a lock. Yeah.
Wow, that you know what? I actually agree with everything you just said. It was one of my favorite films of the year, and it could be Best Picture because when you look at the cast of One Battle After Another, like everybody in the cat, it's stacked, right? Like
Mm.
I think Leo is going to be nominated for an Oscar for his performance. I think Sean Penn's going to be nominated. I even think Willa Ferguson, who plays Chase Infinity, is going to be nominated as well.
Or Chase and Phil Infinity is going to be
Yeah,
nominated.
Chase Infinity is being nominated as Willa Ferguson. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
I.
Academy likes those type of movies where there's like, obviously, P.T. Anderson, he's an actual filmmaker. And
Mhm.
his films don't come out very often as well. So it always feels like, you're a part of something which is really rare. And this film is an amazing film. And it's an ensemble film as well with an amazing cast. Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of cast, so this year is going to be the first year that they have an award for casting.
Hmm.
So this will be very interesting to see how that shakes down, considering what you just said. Because yeah, this is a really a star-studded cast, and you're absolutely right. You mentioned a few people that could be up for awards as well. So did you say so? You do think Sean Penn will be in there for Best Supporting?
Yeah, I think he's going to be in there for Best Supporting. I think he's a lock to win Best Supporting also. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So I actually think Sean Penn will be in there as well. I think he may have a Paul Mescal problem though. I think Paul Mescal might be able to actually. And do I, having not seen Hamnet, I'm going to go see it this week, but having not seen it, I don't know if that is an insane take. But that's another thing that I'm hearing a lot too, is that people are saying, um, Sean Penn for sure will be in there as a nominee, no question, and maybe even should win it. Maybe even should win it. Um, I've also heard people say Adam Sandler might actually be a nominee, although he's not in this movie. But since we're talking supporting actor, he could be in the mix as well too. Um,
For Jay Kelly, I think
and
Jay Kelly is going to be nominated for Best Picture as well.
Okay, so thank you. You know what? Jay Kelly, an obvious omission here on our tier. I don't think I don't, did I? Yes, we do. Okay, we do have Jay Kelly here. So Jay Kelly um, will definitely get some nominations for sure. In terms of
Which
his
is
chances
coming
of being Best Picture, where would you put
pretty
this?
soon, right? Isn't it?
It is coming out pretty soon, I think. I haven't seen it, of course, obviously, but people who saw this one at festivals loving it. Like everyone is saying across the board, and also Billy Kudrup. Apparently, people are saying he might be a dark horse for a best supporting as well. So, since you mentioned Jay Kelly, where do you feel this would go in the best picture? And again, we haven't seen it, so I know this is a difficult. This is a difficult conversation to have because we're both people with, we want to do our research. I'm sure we want to come at it with a you know, more of a guess that's built on having seen it. But this is actually what happens where people are talking and having these conversations without, in many cases, having seen these films or going off of what they're hearing in the industry. So we're in good company. So with Jake Kelly, where would you place this one for Best Picture odds? By the way,
For Best Picture, I would say it's a front runner. Hollywood loves
yep.
movies about Hollywood, and that's what that film is about. And it has George Clooney in it, Adam Sandler, and I think Adam Sandler is a front runner. I guess he'd be in the Best Supporting Actor for the.
Yeah.
I think he's a front runner to potentially win. He's definitely going to be nominated because a lot of people are talking about Adam Sandler hasn't got his Oscar yet. Timothy Chalamet just came out and said he should have got it for Uncut Gems, and I
Mm.
think people are going to start talking like this could be his Oscar for his other roles that he hasn't received an Oscar for, which he probably deserved to, like Uncut Gems. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, since you decided to talk Uncut Gems, we might as well go to your boy. And you talked about Chalamet. Let's go to your boy Timothy because Marty Supreme
Yeah.
is not even out yet, but people are buzzing about this one. Marty Supreme. So, where do you think you'd place this one in terms of the best picture buzz? And then we can get into the actual performances because that's a whole other thing.
I would put it in. I would say it's a front. I would say it's a front runner. Yeah, I would say it's a front runner. I don't see it winning, but I would say it's a front runner. Yeah.
I totally agree. I totally agree. And having not seen it, I can't say I can put it in locked yet. However, if something funny happened here, I could see one battle after another potentially losing to this one
Hmm.
or another picture that I'm going to say later because of what I'm hearing about it at screenings. And they've been very deliberate not to put it out at the earlier um, film festivals, which is a very interesting choice. It's coming out Christmas Day, and people are already saying Timothy was robbed last year.
Yeah.
This is the year he's going to win. I
Including
think he
me.
might get Best Actor for this.
Including me. He was
Yeah.
so robbed. Yeah. That was criminal. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they might write it this year because people are definitely talking about Chalamet for Best Actor, saying that he's got this one basically locked. So Marty Supreme, I totally agree with where you place that. Timothy Chalamet, I think, is definitely in the cut for Best Actor. I've heard Gwyneth Paltrow as well might be in the cut for Best Supporting Actress for this one as well.
Oh wow.
And then you mentioned Cut Gems, and so I mean Josh Safdie definitely I think is going to be in the conversation for Best Director for this one without question. I think.
Yeah, for the Smashing Machine, I mean, originally the Smashing Machine debuted at TIFF, and I agree with you. Ben Safdie is definitely going to be nominated for Best Director, but I don't know. The buzz from the Smashing Machine has kind of it's been not great, you know. I feel like it's gone down a lot since it debuted at TIFF. So I'm not sure where the Smashing Machine is going to be, as other than Best Director. Definitely nominated for Ben Safdie, and maybe The Rock could get nominated for Best Actor.
People are saying that too, and I mean, he would be for me like maybe dark horse territory
Yeah,
because the field is so deep this year. There's such good performances, but I do want to one point of clarification though. Okay, so for Marty Supreme was Josh Safdie who
so
directed
that's
that one.
yeah,
I'm saying Josh Safdie, but you're right. I didn't even think about Ben Safdie for the Smashing Machine because for me, I wouldn't put it on this list. I'd say it's a dark horse, but you're absolutely right that I might be that might be hasty on my part because a lot of people are saying that The Rock did an amazing job in this film. And that kind of speaks to this idea of do you think it's possible for a film to do so poorly commercially
yeah.
and then still have the critics behind it to give it the boost it needs at award season? Because I mean, we can have the same conversation about Christie too, right?
Exactly. Christie is, well, that's gone down for sure. Not in the best light lately. Um, Yeah, I don't see Christie nominated actually, but I think the Smashing Machine. I think The Rock is still going to get nominated, but yeah, box office performance hasn't been good, so
Mm.
it definitely affects the nominations for sure.
And Christy, Sydney Sweeney, you don't see a nomination for her?
I do not, unfortunately. Yeah,
Okay. Nor do I. Just thought I'd toss it out there if anyone's wondering. But yeah, I think what we've got here right now, these three, Jay Kelly, Marty Supreme, and One Battle, I think are definitely going to be heavy in the mix when conversations around acting for sure. I think we mentioned Tiana Taylor at the top. I'm not sure if she was part of that list, but Tiana Taylor is another one too that everyone's saying might actually win. She might actually win an Oscar for this, which I think is, I mean, I guess it gets into, yeah, she was really good in it.
hmm
I don't know if, again, is it best actress or supporting? I don't know which category they're going to put her in. If that's the case, then I think that's what I need to understand. But I've heard people say she's going to be in the mix for actually for best actress. So
wow.
that would be,
I'd
I
be
know,
surprised
that
by that.
wild.
I mean, that'd be a wild card for sure. I mean, it was a great performance, but also Chase Infinity too. I think should be right there as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another one too. People are saying Chase Infinity would be there for best actress, and I was like, wow. So I mean, but it just goes to show. I think this is one of those things I've always found a little bit confusing too. Is like when you would say someone's best actor versus supporting,
Yeah.
because this is it the time on screen? Is it strategy? Is it like we're gonna put Ariana Grande in supporting because we know she's gonna lose if we put her in best actress? Like these are the things that I think people are thinking about and making calculations about when they nominate. So Tiana Taylor, I don't know where she's going to be. She's definitely going to be nominated, but she could be an actress, best actress, or supporting actress.
Mhm.
That I don't know. But it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, okay. Why don't I give you the wheel here and you could choose our next picture amongst the ones that remain that for our next conversation on where it should go.
Okay, I would say for a dark horse, I'm putting Sinners as a dark horse.
Okay. Yeah, what makes you say that?
One of my favorite films of the year, huge box office success, one of the top grossing horror films of all time. Um, Great cast. Michael B. Jordan's performance as the twins was amazing, and I think he's a lock for Best Actor as well.
Mm.
So that's going to be a tight race. And yeah, Best Director, I think Ryan Coogler should be in there as well. And just like, how can you ignore that film? You know, based on the box office success, based on the actor's performance, you know, everybody loved it. I think the buzz has gone a bit down since it came out, a little bit, but people are still talking about it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And my heart would want this one to win actually
Mhm.
for best picture.
Yeah.
That's what I would want. So I would definitely agree. And I would even put this, actually, I think you're right to put it in dark horse. I think at this point, it is kind of maybe because of the also release. I mean, it came out earlier this year. It is a horror movie esque. So that genre is a tricky one with Academy
Yeah,
voters.
the Academy never has appreciated a horror film. I feel like I think there should be
Yeah.
a horror category because another horror film of the year is
Hmm.
Weapons, which won't be nominated.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw Weapons.
I have not seen Weapons yet, but again, I have heard that people are saying that there could be um, a couple of acting statues out of it.
Yeah,
So
I would like to see some actors nominated from that film. I don't know if it's going to be even acknowledged at all by the Academy, but it was a great horror film, and so was Sinners. So hopefully, Sinners is. I think for sure it's going to be nominated, but it's definitely a dark horse to win. Yeah,
yeah, I think it's got an uphill battle, no pun intended, right now with One Battle. It's just kind of it's a great movie. It's just the crop is so good this year.
yeah.
But with Sinners, I hope, and I know you're right. Like Michael B's got the nomination for sure. I'm pretty certain about that. Maybe Haley Steinsfeld might also be in the
A
mix
great
as well
cast
for best
too.
supporting.
Everyone in the cast was amazing. So
Yes, absolutely. Like Wunmei Masaku, who played Annie, was also someone who I've heard a lot of buzz around as a dark horse for best supporting. And for me, my personal, I would love in a field where there was a little bit more space, Miles Catton, who played Sammy. I would love to see that cat get nominated. He won't win, but
yeah, I
nomination
would
would
love
be
to see him get
fantastic.
nominated as well. Even Delroy Lindo, I would love to see him get nominated
Yeah,
as supporting actor. Uh, you're
yeah,
right about
yeah.
Winmi Musaku. Yeah, she a great performance, and even Haley Steinfeld as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I could see her getting nominated as a supporting, if there's any room in that race right now. Great cast as well, so maybe they'll get for cast some love there.
Oh, sure.
But
Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful movie. That actually might be my favorite movie of the year. I would say because I've watched it multiple times. And I never get sick of it, and I'm always kind of amazed at what he did, Kugler. So
Yeah.
Kugler has to get a nomination for director for that one. My heart would want. My heart would want him to win, but I kind of feel like it's PTA's year. So we'll see what happens there. Um, but speaking of what the heart wants, let's just get this one over with. I know you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to see it, I think, very soon. Wicked for Good, the much anticipated
Yeah.
sequel. Where do you see this in the Best Picture race landing?
I say it in wild card. Yeah. I mean, when you look at all the films, yes, one battle after another. I mean, I loved it, but yeah. So Wicked has so much momentum going for it. That's why I put in the wild card
Mm.
because it has a great cast and it's making a lot of money at the box office. Um, it's a grand musical and everyone's loving it. And I know. I just think it's like kind of like that style of Hollywood that those type of movies on this scale don't get made as much as they used to anymore. And I, I could see that definitely being nominated for sure as Best Picture, but it is a wild card to win.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Hmm.
I totally agree. The best chance I think of it getting hardware is going to be for the technical,
Yeah.
awards, and obviously costume. Like, Paul Tazwell won last year, making history. Is the first black man to win that award. Will he win again? Maybe. I don't know. Like that would be incredible if he did, but maybe. I certainly think Cynthia will be nominated. That's like a lock.
Yeah.
Ariana will be nominated for best supporting. That's a lock. And again, word on the street right now, people think it's Ariana's to lose, which is
Wow.
kind of insane to me. But also, and I have seen it.
Yeah.
I could see it because of the money behind the machine that is Wicked, the range, and when you see this, Drew, and we'll talk about it
Yeah.
in an upcoming episode, then we can really have a conversation about this. But I think she could be in the mix for sure based on the range that she displays in that movie, and not getting not getting it last year. Maybe this year she'll just be due. I think it will depend a lot on who else lands in that category. But some of the people that I've heard that might be up for supporting actress or like kind of there's a lot of steam around them right now. Um,
Hmm.
well, we mentioned Haley Steinfeld for Sinners. Tiana Taylor, I've heard in both categories. Like, is she going to be supporting? Is she going to be Best Actress? We don't know. Glenn Close. I've heard people say this is the year Glenn Close will finally get her um, her Oscar after many, many nominations. I think something like 16 or something she hasn't won. So people are saying her performance in the Knives Out mystery, Wake Up Dead Man, is a masterclass. Like
Wow.
I'm hearing a lot of people say that who have seen early screeners. I can't wait to see that movie. It comes into theaters later. Well, this week actually. In fact, at the time of this recording, so it's coming out later this week. It'll be on Netflix next month. When I see that, then I can maybe better assess it. But people are really excited amongst the critics that I'm hearing talking about her performance in that film, that she might be actually a real dark horse for that. So this will be a very interesting race to see what happens. Oh, and Elle Fanning in Sentimental Value is another one that a lot of people are getting behind too.
Speaking of sentimental value, I think that could be the dark horse as well.
Okay. You're going to give a dark horse. So I agree as well. And there's something in me, again, haven't seen it. I'm hoping to go see it this week,
Yeah, me too.
but this was one of my top picks when we did our picks for TIFF, like what I wanted to see.
Yeah,
This one was in the top 5 because I knew already just looking at the content. This
yeah.
director did The Worst Person in the World, which is a amazing movie. If anyone hasn't seen that, it's fantastic. But I really like this director. So King Trium is like, he's got an interesting lens. And I think the performances are, I mean, everyone's talking Stellan Skarsgård right now, that it's his to lose. The lead as well, Renata Ransvig, may also be in the mix for Best Actress. I mean, everybody who's in this is getting a very, very, very
Yeah.
strong endorsement for the award. So I think you're right to put this in Dark Horse. And I'm only going to say that because again, there's so many good pictures this year that maybe it might get drowned out a little bit as people get excited for Marty Supreme and other things that are coming out later. But it's definitely got to be in the conversation for sure.
Yeah, and Stellan Skarsgård, I think he's going to take it for best actor in that film. Actually, yeah.
You know what? Like, he's going to be probably best supporting
Okay,
actor.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, probably best. Or maybe, actually, no, I misspoke. Maybe, I'm sorry, you're right. I think maybe actor. But I think it's like, if he's an actor, then he's won, I would say. Um, if if it's not him, who else do you see being in the best actor category this year? What other names are you hearing?
Michael B. Jordan,
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio,
Oh yeah. Duh. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Timothy Chalamet for Marty Supreme.
Yeah.
I think Jeff Goldblum's going to be nominated, but he's going to be nominated for Best Supporting in Wicked. I think
Wow.
that's my
Okay.
wild card for Best
Okay.
Supporting for sure.
Wow.
I'd like to
Okay.
see him. Everyone, and I think, do you know what? Another one of my wild cards for Best Actor is Jacob Elordi. I think is going to get nominated for Frankenstein. My boy, Jacob Elordi. I think he's the dark horse for Best Actor. I should say.
Okay. Your man crush is gonna get nominated for best actor. I hope for you that that does happen so that we can see more of him on the red carpet. You get a lot of cutaways in the audience for you. I could see him getting nominated for best supporting for sure, for best
Okay.
supporting.
Okay.
I think he will be a dark horse though, just because of how deep that bench is this year.
Yeah.
But I would love to see that. I would love to see it. I loved Frankenstein. I just watched it again this weekend. I love it. And upon rewatching it, I'm like, damn, he needs to be recognized in some major way. I don't know, is it this year? But he's definitely somebody that, like, he's going to be in the conversation. I hope he squeaks through and gets nominated for at least for supporting. But you're absolutely right. Like, he was great in that. He really was great in that.
And yeah, all the preparation for that film and the amount of screen
Oh,
time he has in Frankenstein as well. Like, yeah, I can't imagine him being ignored at the snubbed at the Oscars. So where would you put Frankenstein in Best Picture?
okay. So Frankenstein, Best Picture. This is going to seem wild, but I'm going to put it in front runner.
Oh wow, okay,
I'll tell you why.
that
Okay, so one, Guillermo del Toro.
yeah,
People love his ass. They love him.
yeah,
So I think the industry will definitely give him a nod for best director. No question.
he
No
has,
question.
yeah,
The film as well, because it's gotten such, well, it's still in the theaters now, so you can still go see it. It's got a limited release.
hmm
It's also on Netflix, so it's getting massive exposure. So more people will have seen it. So I think it's going to be on people's minds. But I also think it was a beautiful film. It was. It was. I actually think it was. In another year, I would even elevate this to like it might even win. It's because this again. I'm going to keep making this disclaimer.
Yeah.
Um, this year we had so many good films, but Guillermo is a people love him. This was the film that got the like it got a huge standing ovation
Mhm.
um, at Cannes, and people are still talking about it, even though yeah, I would say there are other films that are definitely garnering more critical praise, but the treatment of this movie, the way that Guillermo is out there talking and promoting it
Mhm.
pretty much at every chance he can get. Jacob Elordi now also out there a lot. Like he's on the campaign train.
Mhm.
Oscar Isaac, who we didn't even mention, by the way, who I think could also be worthy of a best supporting, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Um, I just think the combination of things, and again, Guillermo. People love Guillermo. The Academy loves Guillermo,
Mhm.
and I think he won't win. I don't think he'll win this year, but I think he's going to be in the mix in a massive way. I
Definitely.
really, really do. Yeah, yeah. Um, now, okay. One other thing I want to go back to for Best Actor, because we talked about Timothy Chalamet, Michael B. Jordan, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio, maybe Stellan Skarsgård in that category if he's not in supporting. Another person that I have heard recently um, in this conversation, and it blew my mind, not because he's not a great actor, but I haven't seen the movie yet, but because the movie itself was not heavily, in my opinion, promoted or marketed. Um, Ethan Hawke, a lot of people are saying Ethan Hawke is going to win the Academy Award for Best Actor for Blue Moon.
Blue Moon.
So this was
I was gonna.
Linklater's
Yep.
picture, right? And I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
That was one of the pictures that I did have kind of on my like, if I can get around to it, which I kind of feel silly saying now because everyone is talking about this movie is saying like, so Linklater came out with Nouvelle Vague and came out with Blue Moon at TIFF, both movies. But Blue Moon apparently like Ethan Hawke is a revelation in it, and I'm a huge Ethan Hawke fan, and so I'm glad to hear him in the conversation. I haven't seen it, so I can't speak to the performance, but he's out there doing a lot of press right now too. So I have a feeling he might actually get a dark horse nomination. I'm only saying that because again, I haven't seen the film. Some people might even say he's a front runner, which is wild to me. But um, yeah, he's also in the mix, I think, too.
Oh, definitely. I agree, and Hollywood loves those type of films too. He
Mm.
plays Lawrence Hart, who is a songwriter who collaborated with Richard Rodgers on such classics as Blue Moon, which is and The Lady is the Tramp, and which is the film. Yeah, that's a film called The Blue Moon. So I haven't seen it yet either, but yeah, he's generating a lot of buzz for his performance. So he's definitely a lock for Best Actor.
Yeah, I think he'll get a nomination easily, and we'll see what happens as well as more people got to get to the theaters or get to see this movie in limited release. So, okay, it's not lost upon me that the movies that we have left at the bottom of the tier list, it's not that they're bad movies because obviously they're here because they're in the mix. But one, two, well, I haven't seen any of these movies. um, I know Train Dreams is on Netflix.
Just came to
I
Netflix.
hovered.
It's on my list. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I hovered over it this weekend. I hovered over it. Something stopped me from watching it though, but I'll definitely get on that train, no pun intended. And then Hamnet, I'm going to be seeing later this week, and I'm so stoked. This was the film that I was kind of most excited to see at TIFF, and I didn't get around to it. And audiences left the TIFF screening in
Oh
tears,
wow.
because it was so deeply moving. And Jessie Buckley, this is your best actress, in my opinion. I think early prediction, she's going to win for that, for him. That I haven't even seen it yet, and I think she might win. So that's the other person we didn't mention in the mix for Best Actress. With Cynthia Erivo is probably going to be in the conversation for Best Actress. Chase Infinity maybe might be in there too. Rose Byrne, Emma Stone, and um, these are all people that I've heard mentioned, including Tessa Thompson for Hedda. But the conversation, the gravity right now, just seems to be the force and the pull is around Jessie Buckley, and so
Really?
um, that's just everyone I'm talking to is who said it is that who's seen it. Excuse me, has said Jessie Buckley. It's hers to lose. So I can't wait to see this because apparently that's everyone. That's like, well, not everyone. I'm sure someone's going to get at me and tell me I'm insane that it's got to be, Emma Thompson or it's got to be Cynthia Erivo. It's not Cynthia Erivo. She's not winning this.
Oh, it
Let's
better be.
be real here.
Okay, if it's not, that's my front runner to
Cynthia.
win Best Actress, Cynthia Erivo. Yes.
Okay.
Also, you mentioned Rose Byrne for "If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You." That's generating a lot of buzz
Yeah.
as well. And Emma Stone. The Academy does love. That's She stars in Begonia, which is Yorgos
Yep.
Lanthimos' new movie, and the Academy tends to really like his films, and I haven't seen Begonia
Yeah.
yet, but I think Emma Stone is definitely could be nominated for an Oscar for this. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Emma Stone will be in the conversation for sure, and I haven't seen Begonia yet either. But as you said, like her and Yorgos Lanthimos, they're a dream team, right? She won the Oscar with him for Poor Things, right? So like,
yeah,
there's those two can't miss when they're together. They're becoming like this. Yeah, she's his muse, and I think
yeah.
Hollywood loves her, loves Emma Stone. So I don't think she's going to win, but I do agree with you that I think she'll be in the conversation. But Hamnet, yeah, my pick for Best Picture. It's a dark horse, I would say.
Yeah.
But I do think the two leads, Paul Mescal and Jesse Buckley, are most definitely going to be nominated for the respective categories. Jesse Buckley, early prediction, as I said, and I'm saying that without even having seen this movie. I think she's going to win. I actually think she's going to win it. So, um, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what I think after I actually see it. But yeah,
And
that's
with
where I'm going to place it right
Begonia,
now.
I read that there's been screenings for if you shave your head, you can go to these screenings. There's like these event screenings where everyone shaves their head and goes to a screening of Begonia because Emma Stone in the film has her head shaved. She's kidnapped in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to shave my head and go see it, but I definitely would like to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know that, but yeah, I'll get around to it as well. I've heard, um, I guess, positive things for the most part, and the most
Yeah.
positive thing that I've heard consistently is that it is extremely weird, which
It looks.
I would not expect anything different from
Yeah, exactly.
that duo.
Very on
You
brand.
know,
Yeah.
it's very on brand for them for
What do
sure.
you think about
Okay,
Avatar?
Avatar.
Yeah.
So Avatar, it's going to be, in my opinion, a wild card for Best Picture, and that says a lot when you're saying that a James Cameron picture like Avatar is not really in the mix, but it's in the mix. It's kind of going to get a later release, so it's hard for me to say. But I'm putting in a wild card. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to pick up enough steam that late in the
Yeah.
game to really be a Best Picture contender. So I got to put it in wild card. But again, it's James Cameron. It's going to probably be visually dazzling. It's going to pick up all sorts of technical awards, I'm sure. But yeah, like I mean, do you have a different opinion on that one, or how do you feel about Avatar?
I think it might sneak in, but I don't know. I'm just
Mm.
like another Avatar movie. Like really? Like, do we need to see?
No, I know.
I don't know.
Personally, I'm not
Visually, it's going to get some technical awards for sure.
for sure.
But also, Wicked could do a clean sweep of the technical awards too. It's going to be like a battle between the two of them. I feel like for technical awards, and I think also Sinners should get a technical award for Michael B.
Hmm.
Jordan playing the twins, right? That was really well done. But
Yeah.
Avatar, I don't know. Like, how many more avatars do we need? Really, I don't know.
Oh no. I mean, yeah, I'm not even excited to see it. I actually, well, there you go. I said it. It's done. It's out there.
Yeah,
I'm not that excited to see this. I personally think it's gonna do well. You
people will
know.
go see it. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's always some Avatar fans who are out there that go see these movies, but I'm just like, that's a
Totally.
that's a lot of Avatar.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the first one was groundbreaking and it was
yeah,
amazing. And I still remember being completely mesmerized by it on screen when I went and saw it. I think I went and saw it like in 3D or something too.
here,
But it was great. It was like a spectacle. I did not see the one that came after that, but um, it's going to be one of those ones you go with. You go see an IMAX because you want to see,
yeah,
you know, the light and sound and the technical, you know, stuff. I really don't have much to say
Basically, you just
about it
want
because
to
I'm
see what does $1 billion look like on the screen? You know?
correct. Yeah, exactly, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So that alone, it's going to be recognized just for its feat of filmmaking, I suppose. But yeah, I think Best Picture it's going to be a wild card for me. Um, and we can circle back to some of these films and talk about actors or people that we haven't spoken about that you feel we should, but we should definitely clean up the two that are left here because they're not left here because they're not great movies. These are two movies that have done extraordinarily well.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, with people who have seen it. So, Train Dreams. Uh, like I said, haven't seen it, but it is on Netflix now, and a lot of people are really saying that William H Macy might be in the mix for Best Supporting
Oh
for his
wow.
role. I've heard that. I've heard that, and of course, Joel Edgerton, who stars. I've heard people talking about potentially there could be some um, some flowers for him too.
Okay.
But without seeing the movie, what say you, Drew? Like, where would you put Train Dreams in terms of the best picture conversation?
I think I don't see it. I say probably not myself.
That's exactly where I was going to
I
put it.
think it's going to get ignored. I haven't seen it yet. I do want to
Yeah,
watch it, but I think it's just going to get lost in the shuffle. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. And unless there's like a major, no, I kind of agree. I think probably not. But there could be some.
It
I
does
don't
have
know. Maybe.
it is a Netflix film, so it does have that going for it. Netflix
Yeah.
it has a lot of push for sure, but
Yeah.
also Neon Films is going to be. I mean, Neon Films it has. It was just an accident as well as sentimental value, and I think this is the year of Neon Films. Yeah.
Yes. Just an accident. A big premiere when it came out.
Mhm.
A lot of people saying that this movie was one that it left an imprint on them.
Mhm.
I didn't see it. Unfortunately, I didn't get around to seeing it during its run at TIFF. But yeah, this is another one too that I think people have really enjoyed it critically. But as far as best picture, I'm gonna put it in the wild card category because I kind of feel similarly to the other movies. I think it's probably it's probably not going to get enough attention, enough eyeballs on it right now to really put it in serious contention. That's the only reason why I'm saying that. But I believe this was the Palme d'Or winner,
Oh, really?
right? So that was an insane statement I just made, but I think that's probably going to be a wild card. Yeah, yeah, I believe so. I believe so. So like, um, it's critically been loved, right? Like
Mhm.
loved up and down. I
Oh,
just don't
it's,
see it having that same appeal for the Academy that say like One Battle would have or Marty Supreme. That's my thoughts. But what say you?
I think it could slip in there, though. I think it's a dark horse. Yeah.
Okay,
Not
you
gonna
put this up in dark horse territory.
Yeah, because it did win the Palme d'Or, and everyone loves it, and it's a powerful film, and it's an independent film, so I think it could
Yeah.
squeak in there as a dark horse. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So, of course, we've locked in our films. Many of these films are not even released yet. We haven't seen. So it'll be really interesting to come back and revisit this after seeing some more of these films, or as the race starts to take a bit more shape. By mid December, we kind of have a sense too, like, oh, okay, this might be in the mix. But what are your thoughts generally on this year's Oscar race? Is there anybody that we haven't spoken about yet from any categories that you're kind of tracking that you feel like we should discuss? Anybody that we've missed?
Good point. I mean, we mentioned pretty much everyone. I mean, best supporting. Also, we didn't mention Benicio del Toro. He could get in best supporting as well. I think Paul
Yeah.
Mescal is going to be in there for Hamnet as well. Definitely Stellan Skarsgård and Sean Penn are like the front runners for that category. Yeah, I would like to see Ella Fanning. You mentioned for Sentimental Value and Best Supporting
Yep.
Actress as well.
Yep.
And yeah, this is there any other film we haven't really mentioned? I think we pretty much covered them all. Yeah.
I think we covered them all. I'm sure there's somebody screaming at us right now, like you didn't mention. So one movie that I didn't see, but as you mentioned that I'm thinking about The Secret Agent. So another neon film.
Oh,
I haven't
sure.
seen it, but
It's a big
a lot
year.
of people are saying Wagner Mora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My question to you is, who do you think is going to win the new category for best casting?
Ooh. Okay, so another movie that I didn't it's bizarre that I didn't put it on here because it was one of my maybe actually my top movie that I want to see at TIFF is The Knives Out, the Wake Up Dead Man
Okay.
movie. Didn't say that because I don't think it's going to be a serious contender in the best picture category anyways. I would put it in wild card if I were to put it here. But for casting, for casting, I could definitely see it getting nominated for casting. And this is exactly the type of category
Hmm.
where a film like this can get recognized. It may not win Best Picture, but the cast is like the marquee is star studded. And apparently, a lot of people who are like, taking the glass onion, the second one, a lot of people are saying, okay, Ryan's back on track with this next one, and that it's a really interesting who done it with a star turn performance, if we didn't already know he was an amazing actor, by Josh O'Connor in this one. So a lot of people are saying Glenn Close, Josh O'Connor. What? Like people are really excited about those two. And then I love Daniel Craig. I think that guy. Let's put him in this movie in this franchise. For I could watch 10 more of these. Like for me, I love them,
Yeah.
and I'd love to see him take on this role for as long as he wants to do it, honestly. So I would say for best cast, my heart wants to say Sinners, of course, because I think that was the cast for me. That's the cast for me this year. But I haven't seen Wake Up Dead Man yet, and I think that could be another one that could be in the mix. But what do you think?
For best cast, I'm gonna say
Mm.
one battle after another. Yeah, I mean everybody in the whole cast could be nominated for an Oscar in their category, so that's hard to beat. Yeah,
That's fair. That's fair, and I
and if
had a feeling you
not,
might
then
say it.
Wicked. If not, then Wicked. Yeah,
Oh yeah, and I mean, of course, Wicked too. I just tell you that this is how good the movies have been this year. That
yeah,
Wicked is kind of like it was an afterthought for me, but for casting. But I don't think it will win for cast this year. I think you're right. I think One Battle will likely win, or Sinners, or and this is going to be dark horse again. But I think Wake Up Dead Man,
yeah.
Wicked. I can't wait to get into that with you once you see it because I do think there's a lot more that I could say around why I'm saying that I don't think it's going to win cast because this movie in my mind had 2 stars. It was in my mind like the Ariana show, but
But
we'll see.
speaking of Wicked and Oscars, if Cynthia Erivo wins the Oscar, she will be EGOT
Yeah.
status.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah,
So
so
is that the last one she needs? Just the Oscar?
yeah, that's the last one she.
Wow.
So I'm rooting for Cynthia. Okay.
Wow. I mean, when you remind me of that, there's a part of me that thinks, okay, let's just give it to her
Yeah,
for the body of work.
she needs the
Like
EGOT
the
status. Yeah.
for the two films,
Right.
let's give it to her.
Yeah.
You know, who won Best Actress last year? I can't remember who it was. Who was it? Was it?
Was it Emma Stone?
Oh yeah, we just said this. I just said it earlier. Right, it was Emma Stone. So yeah, I was like, who won last year? Because I mean, this could be the year that they gave it to Cynthia, like you said.
Yeah.
EGOT status aside, just because we want to recognize her for her work
Yeah.
in both films, and this could be it. So wow, that adds an extra dimension to
It
that
does.
category for me now
It
with
does.
Cynthia. That's wild, but so well deserved, and I'd love to see her get it. If she does win, trust me, I will be so happy if she does win.
I'm,
I think it will be well deserved if
if
she
she
does
does, I'm
win
going to be
for
picking up my
everything, for
neighbors.
everything.
Yeah, my neighbors
Yeah,
are gonna. I'm gonna wake up my neighbors for sure. I'm gonna be cheering in my place. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna be super stoked to see that happen, and I think the director category is gonna be another one of those ones that's gonna be super exciting to watch.
Yeah.
We talked about Paul Thomas Anderson being front runner as well. I think Guillermo del Toro will be in the mix. Kugler obviously will be in the mix, but the other ones, and then we talked about Josh Safdie earlier. I mentioned that I think he might get nominated, but someone else who, as I'm looking at these excuse me, I forgot about Chloe Zhao. I don't think she's going to win, but I think she'll get nominated for this. And
Yeah.
of course, she's an Oscar winner already, right? For Nomadland, so they like her, and I think this movie could definitely get her another nod for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
uh, yeah. I mean, I think we covered quite a lot of the different categories. I mean, we're
I
all
agree.
over Best Actor and Supporting Actress, um, casting. We went there too, as well. I mean, we've done a lot considering we haven't seen film, so not too bad, I think. And at this point, if people are screaming at us saying you forgot, insert the name here. We would love to hear from you and let us know on the socials who you think should be in the best picture category, if we've missed anybody, and also for the other categories. Who are you excited about this year? We'd love to hear about that. And I'm sure we'll revisit this conversation later, Drew, as we start to get closer to the Oscars.
I agree, definitely. And they should also add best horror film and best comedy or musical as well as a category. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually very true, right? Go the Golden Globes route. Yeah. I know stunts are going to be added next year, so that'll be interesting as well
Oh, cool.
um, to see that category. Yeah. So, I mean, they're evolving. I think they're trying to, keep us interested and attract new audiences. So, yeah, we'll see what that looks like. But we do wrap up here. We
Yeah.
got to remind everybody as well, like, to, do the things that you do to support a podcast and to help us grow as well. So we got to put a plug in here for the pod. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hello. Please do that. Like this video if you want to hype this video if you'd like. Tell your friends about the pod.
And yeah, before you go, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and follow us on Instagram at culture_alchemy. We want to keep the conversation going. And if we missed anyone, let us know. And what were your favorite films of the year as well? We'd love to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, that's it for today. And so until next time, alchemists, stay curious.